What are your earliest memories of Charlevoix?
My earliest memories are, we had a great big red barn, and my dad did farm. He did work on the road with a grader some of the time, some of the roads close to us. But we had a nice big farmhouse and a great big barn. Some of my earliest memories are with my brother Bob and my sister Esther. We were up on the hay mows. Men were hauling in hay, or you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Hay would be right.
yeah, and piling it on both sides. And so they had a big long thing that came down in the middle to pick up these bales of hay and swing them over to the side. So they were kind of fun. They didn't haul them back right away. So we proceeded to swing across the hay mows. Oh, that was great. We had more fun, except one time I didn't get a good enough run, and I hung in the middle.
Oh dear.
And I had to drop and broke my arm.
Uh-oh.
Didn't know it at the time. And I just had my arm hurt.
Uh-huh.
By the next morning, my folks decided that I better go to the doctor. Okay, so I go to the doctor. And you should have seen the x-ray machines then. The x-ray machines made funny little things on the wall and all over, you know. Mm-hmm. And I had to stand there and hold my arm just so they could get an x-ray and see where it was broken. And it was broken.
Mm-hmm. Well, when your father came here to Charlevoix, what did he do?
He came to Charlevoix and he worked for my Grandpa Cross. My Grandpa Cross had a gas station, and my grandpa went to Florida for the winter, and my dad ran the gas station. And we kids all went to school. There was about 4 of us that went to school.
That was up on Petoskey Avenue. Okay.
And by spring, my dad had sold himself on establishing a gas station downtown. So he talked to Albert Cook. And Albert Cook was married to Helen Cook, you know. And we always called him Cookie.
Uh-huh.
And Albert Cook had a gas station downtown, but I don't know if he owned it or just was running it. I don't know how that worked. But he and my dad went into business at the Charlevoix.
Oil.
What?
Charlevoix Oil.
Yeah, Charlevoix
Okay.
Oil Company.
And your father was?
Angus.
Angus Fochman.
A-N-G-U-S.
Mm-hmm. And did you ever work at the gas station when you?
No, I didn't, but my sister did.
She did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Help keep the books in the summertime because they were kind of busy in the summertime.
Right.
My sister Esther.
Okay. And then your brothers went into business, right?
My brothers, well, they worked for my dad. What did they do for business?
Your brothers?
Yeah.
A couple of them worked at the gas station. Dick and Bill both worked at the gas station.
I remember Dick and Bill Fochman owning the Buick dealership.
Yeah.
That was much later. We're talking 1929 now. When
29, right? We're much later. Yes, sir.
you should tell them about the first house when you came to Charlevoix in 1929. up on Petoskey Avenue, and then where your
Yeah.
sister lived as well.
Right, tell us about that house.
You mean the Susan Roebuck house?
Yes.
Yeah, the Claire.
Oh, great, yeah.
Tell us about
Claire
this.
Village.
I was there when they,
It's 503
the Susan
Petoskey
Roebuck
Road.
house came to Charlevoix on the railroad. Of course, my Grandpa Cross was connected with the railroad for a long time. And we were all excited about that. And Amos Webster came in and put that house together. And then Claire Webster and Aunt Billy lived in that house.
And where did you live?
Pardon?
Where did you live? You lived next door,
Yeah, next door to the,
501 Petoskey.
yeah.
What was your house like? Did you have running water and refrigerators and all the things we have now?
We lived over on Dixon Avenue,
That was later.
412 Dixon. I look right at that house every day. Big house. Big house. A lot of kids, 6 kids running around.
Yeah, it needs some, it's nice to have a big house when you have a lot of kids.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We just, we could all have friends in.
Yeah.
And the house, did the property go right down to the lake, or did we just take it over?
It went about halfway down the lake, down to the alley that went back.
Yeah, I think so.
Family-
My first job was babysitting.
Oh, yeah.
My sister and I were babysitting all these rich people that were staying in these houses up and down the street, and nobody take care of their kids.
Was this during the summertime?
Yeah, just during the summertime. I didn't work in the wintertime.
Yeah, tell us about your Saturday night fun.
My Saturday night fun. Well, Wayne Building played, and I think it's in the same place that's still there.
The Argonne Supper
Yeah.
Club.
Yeah, and we never missed a night, a Saturday night out there dancing. Had a great time.
What was your curfew?
1 o'clock.
Wow.
Wow, that was liberal. You were lucky.
I could get in at 1:30 and put it over.
And pull the wool over their eyes?
That's because of the clock, right? The chimes on the clock, how did that work?
Because what?
The chimes on the clock, how that worked
Oh,
for 1 o'clock.
well, you tell them how it works.
Oh, you tell, you told me.
He's not on camera, you're on camera.
You told me you used to fool with the clock because it struck once, 3 times in a row.
So, good for you, Mary Helen.
We had a good time.
Yeah, but it sounds like you did.
Wayne Building played a lot.
Wayne Building.
We had just,
What was his instrument? Do you remember what his instrument was?
no.
No? He played
Was it-
saxophone or
I
trumpet?
think so, saxophone, some big horn, yeah,
He was the band leader, though. It was the Wayne Building Orchestra.
yeah,
So was it a jazz band? A jazz band?
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's Gene Stelter. This is John Wender. This is me. This is Davy Livingston. And this is Jane Stelter. These girls are twins, the 2 Stelter girls.
So Livingston was one of your boyfriends?
Yeah, he was my boyfriend
Okay.
at that point.
Uh-huh.
And then over
Oh,
here.
there's a couple. Yeah.
Yeah. These are all couples.
From your dancing days out at the Argonne. It says 1933 on them. Good for you.
That's when I graduated from high school.
Tell
I
me
don't
about the
think
car that David had, Mom.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
she's-
went with David all through high school. Here's all our girlfriends. We went for a weekend at a cottage.
huh.
Here we are again. Then I babysat people on the Belvedere of course. This is down, I think, at the end. These are all my girlfriends. Virginia Nickerson. This is a Stelter girl, and this is Stelter, me. Here Esther and I are with our charges.
Your charges, okay? You were babysitting, that's
Yep.
neat.
Yep.
Well, take a minute and tell us more about that car, Livingston's car.
Livingston's car?
Yeah, tell us about that. You said it had a seat that came out?
They had two little seats that came out in back of the front seat, so it made another little seat there. And it was a big car, and he had a seat in the back, and then that little seat, the seat in the front.
Oh, that was pretty neat.
Yeah. I don't know, I've never seen one since like that, but it was fun. And we could take quite a few in his car when we went to a dance or something, if we went out of town or something like that.
Yeah.
So, and I went with David most of high school. So.
Hey Mom, why didn't you marry David?
What?
Why didn't you marry him?
Oh, because I found another guy.
Oh, I saw that wink. Good for you. You decided that this other guy. When did you meet your husband?
Well, let's see, how did I get to Alma?
You went to business school in Grand Rapids.
Oh, yeah. Went to business school in Grand Rapids. And then I, of course, had friends there. And one girl went to Consumers Power in Alma.
Okay.
Consumers Power needed some extra help. And finally, and then they needed more extra help. So I went to Alma.
Okay. You were the more extra help? Yeah.
I was in business school, but
Yeah.
I was ready to quit business school. So I went to Alma, got hired by Consumers Power, and 4 girls roomed together that worked at Consumers Power, lived together in Alma.
Okay.
And one of the girls went with a fellow who worked on the lines, the forest lines to keep the electricity running and so
Right.
forth. And that was Howard Williams. And Howard Williams lived in Alma. Bob, my husband, had gone to Grand Rapids. No, Lansing. And he and another fellow went to Lansing. And gosh, I knew him. I don't know. Anyway, they decided to work for Michigan Bell. So the first day they went to work, they each wore 2 ties.
2 ties?
Well, that was the second day, Mom.
Okay.
It was the second day.
First day they didn't have
I
any
guess
ties.
they probably wear a tie. So they each wore 2 ties to work.
That was to impress their new employer, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, my husband worked for Michigan Bell for how many years, Tom?
Ended up about 35.
Yeah,
Okay.
35 years.
And so that's how you met him, when you had worked for Consumers Power?
Yeah, Consumers Power guy brought him over, and we went and do Bob, and Bob was up for the weekend, needed a date,
Okay.
so I filled in.
Yeah. And then that just lasted for a long time, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. So we had a good time. We used to go to, where is that, Bob, or Tom? Crystal?
Crystal Lake.
Crystal Lake. And they had a great big dance floor with hardwood floors
Neat.
and a whole orchestra, if you can imagine, in this little town.
Wow.
And we had wonderful dancing there and went there often.
So that was like every Friday night or every Saturday night?
Every Saturday night.
Every Saturday night. That sounds like a great way to spend Saturday night to
Yeah,
me.
yeah, it was. Crystal Lake.
Mom, go back for a minute with that. When you went dancing when you were in high school, what was the name of that place that you went to?
That Wayne building? I can't quite remember.
It was Moonlight something or other.
It was what?
Moonlight something, wasn't it?
Wolf Lake?
No, Moonlight.
Oh, Moonlight Gardens.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moonlight Gardens.
Moonlight Garden.
Okay. I'm not sure where, do you know where it was in the area?
How did I know where it was?
No, well, or was it, north of town or south of town? Do you remember?
South of town, isn't it? It's
No.
right out.
Where Giuseppe's is now.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
where Giuseppe's is now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, I know how it started. Let me think here. First, we had rummage sales, of course, And we had a rummage sale, and another girl and I were in charge. And we had stacks of pants, men's pants left. And I said, we can't throw these away. This is too valuable. And there was no place in town to put them. But about that time, the scouts decided to not be in their room anymore. They were going, so that room was empty, so they gave us that room. And that turned out to be the Rainbow Shop. And they kind of kept moving on and finally got a bigger place. And the Rainbow Shop did a wonderful job.
Yeah.
We worked hard on helping people with clothes. But then the people came along and said, we don't have any food. And when we started the Rainbow Shop, I think Myrtle Fulton and I had a can of pineapple and something else. Nothing much.
Yeah.
And gosh, I don't know. I haven't thought about this in a while.
Well, you ended up in the First Congregational Church.
Well, yes.
And where where the food pantry is now? The First Congregational Church, do they collect all the food and it works over there?
Yes, and I'll tell you, we've had a lot of people that need food. We keep track of whoever comes. And Maxine Bergman really is the one that does the legwork on this. And we have a lot of people that help us, so people that fill the shelves, and then there's people that sit in the office and take down all the information, and they can only come once a month. And
People to get food only come once a month?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. If it's free,
Right.
you walk out there with 4 sacks of groceries. Now, you've got something.
Yeah.
I figure you've got $40 worth of groceries with 4 sacks.
Easily.
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 Yeah, yeah. So,
Where did the shelves come from for the food pantry?
for the shelves, well, the shelves were given to us by a couple that live down the road a piece. I can't remember his name right offhand, but he bought all the shelves and came and put them together.
Oh, not only bought them,
Installed them.
installed them. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Dick Foxman helped with that, didn't he?
Well, he had Dick Foxman helped, and Barry Wood helped. Glad you're here, Tom. That's little extra things that they did.
I think
For him.
Dad helped with that as well.
And I was trying to think of how many people I should say came in a day.
What, to get the food?
Yeah. Usually about 10 to 15 people.
Okay. How
I've
did
probably
they,
forgotten the most important thing, but
no, that's, how did you get names of the people who would need the food? Where did those names come from?
those people just come
They
in.
just would come in?
They
Okay.
come in and tell us their plight
Okay,
and how many people there are in the family.
okay.
And if it's just husband and wife, or how many children, or so forth. And we take down the names of all the children too, which is handy at Christmas time. Very
What
much.
happens at Christmas time?
Well, then the Christmas project takes over. You know, they had it at the not Grange Hall, but
VFW?
or
VFW?
out by those gas stations.
The VFW hall?
VFW Hall this year. And they had a pile of kids. I saw a list one time was 304, but the article came out in the paper, and I was very disappointed in it because it didn't tell how many people they helped.
Yeah,
And they helped a lot of people
yeah.
with a Christmas dinner and with gifts for the kids, and tried to get boots for kids that really needed them if the parents came and asked.